Hey everybody, Scott Fischer, Options for Senior Living and the Options University. Don't let Haboob hit you in the face. Welcome to the show. People ask me, hey, why did you pick that name? I've always thought in metaphors. I've been involved in aging journeys and helping families navigate the difficulties of the aging journey with their loved ones for more than 2 decades. And I think in terms of pictures, you can see on my screen behind me, there's a pretty big Haboob storm that hit Phoenix, the greater Phoenix area earlier this summer. And it's a representative or a metaphor that life often catches us unaware. And when it does, it can be a big mess, even disastrous for some families. My business, the Options for Senior Living business, has been walking, like I said, families through that for a couple of decades, helping them find the right long-term care solutions. Part of my history, my background is I was an educator. I spent a number of years working for the Maricopa County Community College District. I love to teach. I love to share. And it's been on my heart for a long time to develop a platform like this that reach professionals and families that are seeing the impact of aging and the challenges that are associated with aging on their family members and, of course, on their businesses. And so I got to invite one of my dearest and I don't want to say oldest friends because Melissa, we ain't old, but Melissa and I met back in 1979 when I moved to Phoenix, Arizona as a high school junior. She was a sophomore. We went to the same high school together. I've been dear friends with her family for a long time. I have got Melissa Meek with me here from the state of Arizona Department of Agriculture. She's in their Human Resources Department. We've known each other, like I said, for eons. Hey, Melissa, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Can I call you Missy? Because that's what I'm most comfortable with.
Yes, you may. Not a problem.
When I said all what I just said, kind of leading us in, what were you thinking about?
Just all the employees we currently have that are dealing with aging parents and having to take care of them upon also taking care of their own children. So it takes a toll on the staffing needs, especially when staffing is low.
And it feels like since the pandemic, staffing, availability of quality staff, all that's really taken a hit, right?
And budgets and whatever other things, just normal course of life events that happen to people within the operations of whether it's the private sector or the public sector.
I'm sorry.
We've had people that have had to use their FMLA and have been gone for long periods of time to deal with the situation we're talking about today, their aging parents, what to do with them, how to care for them, and trying to place them in quality and safe places.
I did some research more than 10 years ago on this particular topic. And so with Missy working for the State Department of HR, you've got how many employees under your umbrella, just on your department?
Just in our department, average about 300. And then during peak season, when we bring in seasonal people, we're 360.
And State of Arizona employs how many folks?
40 or 50,000, I believe.
Thousand. Yeah, I was going to say,
1,000.
like, I thought it was like 38,000 plus or something like that. So, 40,000 employees
right
across the state.
Exactly. And the thing is people, in the state, we got the whole state. Like, we have offices from one end of the world to the other in the state. So
this topic has interested me a lot. And my business has been touching families that are dealing with the reality, like on the ground with the families. They're in crisis. We've got to find the right, assisted living or long-term care placement. We've been helping people that are kind of in crisis. My heart, Missy, is to get upstream to people before the crisis as they're having these experiencing and things, and be able to educate, provide support, resources, so that they're not the storms that are coming don't wipe them out like the Haboob. I mean, one of my favorite ones is this picture back here behind me of that's ASU. that's coming over Tempe Town Lake behind me. Yeah. And so where's Arizona? Yeah. Where's the football stadium, right? People tell me that they feel that way. I feel that way with my mom some days. Like, it's like, where is the clear air to breathe, And so if we can assist people, I've been asking people, and I want your response to this. I've been asking people to think about this question and kind of teaching them a thing to expose the issue. You've mentioned it already, but I want you to dive in a little more deeply and maybe think of some specifics, if examples. How has the aging journey of your employees or their experience with the aging journey of a loved one impacted their employment and their performance at work?
It impacts it a lot because of the stress level that they have to carry, the time they have to take off, whether or not they're going to get in trouble. They have to use their FMLA and their own accrued leave and all that kind of stuff to deal with those situations. Then if something comes up for themselves, they've kind of wiped themselves out because they've used all their time towards their loved one, which we know will always be your first choice to do, but it impacts them a lot.
When you use your PTOs up for your parents and your doctor's appointments for your mom, and maybe staying with her in the hospital for 3 days and you're not at work, well, when do you get vacation? When do you get a refreshment of your heart? That PTOs were supposed to be for the employee. And unfortunately,
Right.
I've heard over and over again. You brought up FMLA. How often do you see people now taking that FMLA for their parents? Remember in the 90s when it was a thing for us to go home with our kids, and even the dads were like, they can't fire me. I can take 2 weeks off with my kids. Now they're dealing.
Exactly. They use it a lot, surprisingly. For our small agency, because we're considered average age size agency, but I would say in the last year, we've probably had 5 or 6 individuals have to use that to care for a loved one, or they're trying to balance the loved one's care and then still make it into work, and then their stress levels are up here and they're all over the board, and then they themselves get sick because their stress level, and we all know stress is not a good thing.
No. Most of us are taking blood pressure medicine. We're taking anxiety medicine. We're doing everything we can to cope. We have, too often crummy, crummy coping mechanisms, wine club memberships, things like no. And I'm not making light of it. That's legit in our age group, Missy, that people are having to lean on.
A lot of people don't have good coping mechanisms to deal with it. So that's another scary thing.
Yeah. Presently, does your department or state have any formal assistance you offer? Is there any national EAP touches that you might have? Or is there anything local on the ground that you guys guide anybody to?
Yes, the state does have the employee assistance program through ComPsych, and they're a really good resource. Me personally, and this is on a personal level because I have known you for so long and what you do, you've recently assisted a friend of mine that I work with her issues with her elderly parent. And I just tell people I work with when they come to me and talk about the issues they're having that I'm like, I have a friend that's what he does. And so I will try and direct them, here's his information, and give him a call if you would like to, and provide him the information.
Yeah.
And you actually assisted her very well, and she's very happy. And all the resources that you gave her to deal with all the other things that come about putting a parent in a facility or something of that nature.
Thank you. And how's she doing at work? Better, right? Now that she's not in chaos constantly?
She is better, yes. She's still dealing with some of this, getting them settled and closing the loops on everything else. So I would say pretty soon she's probably going to be 100% better than she was.
Yeah, smoother water's coming, man, right? It's smoother.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you saying that. Really, it means a lot that anybody personally refers their friends or their loved ones or whatever to us. That's always a huge deal to me, and I take that very seriously. While we help families in that final step, find the right solution, Missy, you also said we gave her other resources, and with that one phone call, we were able to get her the right realtor who got her some money up front to be able to fix up Dad's house, to also put forward towards the assisted living that was going to be, once the house was sold, then the equity could be used to cover that kind of a bridge loan. We got her connected to a company that pursues long-term care benefits through the Veterans Aid and Attendant Program. We got her a mover and a move manager. I got her new documents. I think your sister helped me make sure she had new powers of attorney in place. I mean, there was about 6 different resources with just one phone call. And that's our thing, right? Is like families aren't just one silo. It's a whole ecosystem of stuff going on inside of a family that needs these kinds of guidance, and people just don't know where to go.
Well, and a lot of times they don't know that they need to do X, Y, and Z either. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
So what information you provided her, like with the Veterans Administration and all that, she didn't even know that was kind of like an option. So
didn't even know it was there.
They have a direction or a course of action.
Here's a couple of nuggets for you that you know might help for, and these are the kinds of things that I have done in the past, want to do more of with HR managers, Missy, and supervisors and such. But here's a couple of nuggets. A lot of us live here. Our parents live elsewhere. They're now aging. They got to come here. My mom lived in Ohio. We brought her here. When mom got here, I had to do a couple of things. One, because she changed from Ohio to Arizona, I'm concerned about her medical benefits. Well, her Medicare supplement and her plans were all Ohio Blue Cross Blue Shield plans, and I had to get her an Arizona plan. So if you bring your parents here, you need new benefits for them. We can help you with that. The state of Arizona has a very unique mental health power of attorney law. Situation is that I have to declare my mental health power of attorney in the event I ever lose my mind. My wife has the capacity to be able to hospitalize me in a level 1 behavioral health facility. Well, that'll never happen. Au contraire, it happens a lot, especially when you start getting dementias and deliriums and things like that nature, which is happening way more often. And so what happens is you come here from Michigan, you bring your mom down here. She hasn't had her life planning done in 20 years. She's got a nice power of attorney that says, you're the power of attorney. Mom gets with dementia. Melissa, you're end up in guardian's court to be able to hospitalize her. And that's catastrophic to families. That's a $10,000 to $20,000 endeavor. And now you're going to court against your mom in just one piece of paper. But it just happened to me with a family from California, brought dad over here. He got a urinary tract infection, got all wild in his head with a delirium. They had to hospitalize him. Now they're in court, and they didn't even like dad. They didn't want to do it, but they were forced to go be his guardian so they could hospitalize him and get him the right care. Employees don't know that. I mean, they don't know what they don't know, right? With our parents. Exactly. If you were just drawing up whatever you would like for your department or maybe even as a state thing, how do you see, because this is a train that's going to keep coming for a while, right? There's 160,000 to 80-year-olds in Maricopa County. There's 1 million people already the age of 65. And so many of them are still at work. What can we do to help those that are on the train getting through this, that their loved ones are feeling it, and they're feeling it for their loved ones?
I truly think it's the educational part, whether it's brochures or things of that nature. So say with the state of Arizona, if you go like our benefit package, we have all kinds of different work-life balance, and if you need, they now offer pet insurance and things like that. But to get it out there to those employees through, the benefit section of it, and then maybe even have brochures and things that go into when we have new hires.
Yeah.
That it goes in with the benefit information that we hand out to those new hires also.
Yeah.
So I think that's the best, because people don't think about it. They don't even think to ask till it's too late. But if you get it in the forefront, something that needs to be in the forefront.
I would love, like I said, as we were chatting earlier about partnering to help create a culture of acceptance. Like, this is a real thing. We got to be aware of it. Hey, when I was having babies and stuff, like the companies and the hospital I worked for, we all knew the girls and the families were going to be having babies. So there was kind of a culture of, and you would come to work and you would work around the pregnancy or work around the family edition or the new baby, you get, 2 months off, whatever. But with our aging parents, we just haven't quite gotten there yet. And aging doesn't quite get the awareness that our children get. But Oh man, in another couple of years, my mom and I will both be over 65. We'll both be on Social
Yeah,
Security and Medicare, right? So our
yeah.
community is aging. It's swelling like crazy.
And it's
How
not
do you
even something bad that you bring your kids into it so they kind of know, even at a younger age, that
yeah,
this is going to be something they're going to have to deal with or prepare for in the future with you being their parent.
yeah, yeah. How do you think it plays? Maybe as we kind of come in for landing here, I was thinking one more thing. You've got a lot of, I'm sure, effort that goes into recruitment and retention, right? Don't most
Right.
employers have that recruitment and
A lot.
retention mentality? How does this issue play into recruitment of top talent for the future and retaining your top talent now? Can you think of how that weaves together?
And I'll be honest with you, Scott, I've never really thought about it, even though I've
Mm.
dealt with it myself
Yeah,
in the recent months. I would imagine that if we had a robust policy or something in place for that, that would make coming to the state or working for the state more attractive to people. If the pay is a little lower than what they can get in the private sector, because we know, the private sector pays more than the public sector on most
right.
stuff, that would be a benefit that they know that they would have those resources and that
Mhm.
whether or not you want to say job protection, that if that happened, that they would be able to do it.
It would really support that culture. And I think the states always prided themselves on having a robust benefit package, even if it's on the pay side, may not be totally
Mm-hmm.
commensurate to what's going on out there. I've heard for years, like the
Yes,
best healthcare benefits and all that kind of stuff comes with being a state employee. And that's why people are attracted to
it's
those
very good.
state jobs. Before we get out of
Yeah,
here, tell me, you just said that you had an employee take early retirement, his
mm-hmm.
parents,
He's not even retirement age.
and he's not
He
retirement
just
age.
had to resign his position to care for his parents. Yeah.
So this is the reality of it. This is real
In another
stuff.
state too, so the whole state thing comes in. They live in a different states.
He said goodbye to his job and left
Mm-hmm.
state to go take care of his folks.
Mm-hmm.
So the issue's real. It just
It is real.
you're just witness to it. You have helped me immensely today understand better what goes on inside your world. It was you confirmed with me some things I was suspecting a long time, and I hope we have more conversations about this. If you're listening to this and you're in Melissa's world or you're an employer, hear her and think about some of the things we've talked about today. I think it's critical that we, our number one asset. I'm an employer, is my employees. My asset is my employees, right? It's how the
Correct.
wheel turns. And so how can we continually evolve as business owners, as managers, as leaders to help support our best assets? And I think this is a conversation we just got to have more of as we go. And you said it, education, being prepared was the way to go. I can't tell you how much I appreciate seeing you today and you doing this with me.
No, I no, I appreciate you asking because it is becoming more and more of an issue as we age and their parents age. So I appreciate you trying to get out there and helping the people that I care about
Yeah.
maneuver through the whole situation, which
Yeah.
she was very grateful for. So
Great. Well, thank you. I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to, can you guys believe it? We've known each other 46 years or something.
I only
46. How can that be? I don't know.
I don't. It's crazy.
But I joke and say we cleaned up good. I
Yep.
love that you make a difference in the world you do. And that's been a mission of mine a long time. And so thanks for joining me today. You bet. If you're listening for the first time, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. The whole episode is there. You'll hopefully get connected. Follow us on your favorite podcasting platform. Melissa, thanks again for joining me. Have a great day.
Thank you. I'll see you later. Bye.